Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Okay, staying safe at home, and yeah, you need to stay safe at home. Okay, because we have a lot of preparation to do for our CA foundation. So myself, I am CA Naman Jain. Okay, I'll be your faculty for CA foundation accounts. A quick introduction of myself, and then we'll get into CA foundation. Okay, so I am CA Naman Jain. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. Been in teaching profession for last 6.5 years, teaching accounts and taxation. I teach accounts at CA Foundation, earlier known as CPT, and at intermediate I teach taxation, earlier called IPCC. Okay, engaged with teaching profession for last 6.5 years, and being a qualified chartered accountant. I am the founder and managing partner of Namindula and Co Chartered Accountants. Yeah, it's a partnership firm, and we are into practice. And I am a fellow chartered accountant of India. That is, I have already completed my 5 years of practice. And that's it that you need to know initially about me. As in how time passes by, you will get to know more about me. ये हो गया मेरा introduction. अब आते हैं introduction to CA Foundation. Okay. I believe the other faculties must have already briefed you up onto what is the procedure to get into CA Foundation, what are your papers, okay, how many papers you have, and what is the next step, that is intermediate, internship, articleship, and then your CA Fan. I'll not waste your time on that. I will directly come to CA Foundation accounts. Okay. पहले बात तो, why do you call this CA Foundation? Why is it called CA Foundation? Because this is the base. Okay. This is the base on which your career will be built. It is the base on which your career will be built. Okay. So the base has to be strong always. Base should always be strong. Okay. What do I mean by that? Is that your concept and understanding, your concepts and understanding of the subject shall be strong. The concept, okay, and understanding of the subject must be strong. Why is that so? Because here there are different courses that one could have opted for. You people are brave. You people are Spartans. Okay. You people are Spartans. You are brave. Okay. You will fight the fight alone. You've not opted for something that is easy. You've not opted for something that is well to do. That you've not opted something which is very easy or smooth to go. You've opted for something that is very tough. One amongst the toughest courses in India. So feel proud of yourself. Okay. And at the same point of time, develop the sense of responsibility that you've opted, you've taken a challenge, you need to accomplish that. And for that, you need to put in a lot of hard work. So the concept and understanding of the subject has to be very strong. You know why? Because the pace at which CA, the course of CA, okay, the pace at which, okay, it moves as you go ahead to every next what you call examination. Abhi CPT foundation say you will go to intermediate and then to your CA final. The pace at which the subject moves increases at every stage. And when you go to CA intermediate or CA final, you won't have the time to look back to check whether your concepts were strong or not, whether the understanding that you developed about the subject was correct or not. Because by that time, you are already loaded with such amount of syllabus and such amount of concepts and content that if your foundation or your base wasn't strong, okay, there you will face difficulty in understanding. So prima facie, let us focus on building our concept strong, okay, understanding the subject, making our base strong. Once the base is strong, okay, once the foundation of a building is strong, thereafter you can mold the structure in any way that you want. That is what is the prime focus for the next 3.5 odd months to come. For the three and a half odd months, okay, almost it will be on a daily basis that you will see me, okay, and I will feel you how through this camera. Because currently there is this pandemic situation because of which we are not able to take the live classes at the academy, okay, which will not make any sort of a difference because every day classes will be provided to you. You have a class schedule, okay, just like the class schedule, how you have a timetable in your academy, okay, likewise a timetable has been set, classes will be made available to you and you can watch that online, okay. And At the same point of time, any doubts that you have, feel free to ping me up. Okay, you can put a message through the chat channel that has been okay, the chat channel you've been made a member of, so you can put your doubts there. Okay, but ensure you tag me up in the doubt. Okay, you put an @ and write my name so that I'm tagged to your doubt. The moment I open every day evening when I open the channel, I get to know what are all the doubts that are concerned to me, and I will respond to them. Okay, and do not hesitate, guys. It is always better to put your doubts into the channel so that if somebody else also has a similar doubt but who's hesitating to put it there, it'll get cleared at large. Okay, so it's your score, make it large. Okay, it's your life, make it large. वो अलग है, ठीक है. CA Foundation में it's your score, make it large. तो अभी the prime focus is on building up our foundation strong. Okay, so for that purpose, the very course, the entry level, earlier it was called Common Proficiencies Test. Subsequently, the name has been changed to CA Foundation. Okay. The subject here, accounts, okay, is paper one. Is paper one. The very first paper that you are going to attempt in the exam is accounts. Okay, Boni accounts se hone wali hai. Opening is with whom? Accounts. Now, this particular subject here is called Principles and Practices of Accounts. Principles and Practices of Accounts. Okay. So, this particular paper is a 100 marks paper which is purely subjective in nature. It's a 100 mark paper, subjective in nature. When I say 100 marks here, पूरे 100 mark में से our focus is minimum. Our minimum shall be 85%. Sir, can that be achieved? Sir, can that be achieved? Yes. 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 Yes, 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 yes. It can be achieved. Okay. You might be thinking that sir is Daniel Bryan at WWE. No. 85% is our target. We will work every day hard to achieve this target. Now, when I talk about these 100 marks, guys, these 100 marks के लिए you will be given 3 hours time to solve. Okay. Now, for those people who are only concerned with passing, you have paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. Okay. Each paper minimum 40% to pass the subject individually. Each paper you should score 40% minimum to pass the subject individually. And your aggregate, because this will be for 400 marks. Aggregate is how much? 400 marks. Your aggregate should be greater than 50%. That means individually every paper you should score more than 40 to pass. And your aggregate, the total of all papers put together, should be more than 50%. That is more than 200. So now if in one paper you score 39 but your aggregate is more than 200, still you are not passed. Or every paper you scored 45. What is your total now? 180. Did you cross in aggregate to 50%? No, you did not. So it's a combination of individual subject passing as well as aggregate passing. Individually, every subject you have to score more than 40%, and in aggregate you have to score more than 50% to pass CA Foundation. Now, the reason why I am saying minimum 85% here is that, just give me 1 second. The minimum, why am I saying 85% here is because, pay attention. Our focus is you need 4 papers. Okay. Unless you are exceptionally talented, okay, which I know you people are, the student generally develop interest towards certain papers they have a little lesser interest. I'm not criticizing any paper in specific, I'm just giving you the strategy to pass the exam. Okay. कुछ papers में you people think that we are exceptionally good. Some papers either the student is not comfortable or probably is afraid of. Our focus is minimum 40% each paper. Okay. Thereafter, if you are able to score surplus in one paper, suppose in one paper you are able to score surplus, that surplus can be used for meeting up what aggregate. So, if you people ask me what should be your strategy, make two papers your favorites. Make any two papers of the four your favorites. Okay, those papers you should be completely thorough with, because you know it for a fact that if anything goes wrong, these two papers should fetch me so many extra marks that my aggregate is covered for sure. So one such paper where you can score maximum marks, okay, provided you put in a lot of hard work, lot of dedication, lot of efforts, and get in return a lot of marks, okay, is CA Foundation Accounts. I guarantee you'll never tend to lose interest in this paper. Why? It is not me, it is the paper as such. And there is no rocket science in accounting. Okay, it is simply concept. Okay, first you should develop the conceptual understanding, then you should be able to implement that while solving the problems. If you are able to do these two things, then your solutions will be correct. Now, when you talk about your examination, I said your examination is for 3 hours. I will also show you what the pattern of the question paper is and what should be your approach, etc. Because this is the first class. Right from the first class, you should know what is your target and how to move ahead to achieve that target. Now you have 3 hours, okay, which is 180 minutes in the exam. Out of my experience, because even I have written these papers, okay, I have also written CA, CPT लिखा था मैंने, foundation नहीं लिखा था. I had CPT. Okay, thereafter I had CA intermediate, I had final. So I've already gone through the stages that you're supposed to go now. Okay, a little bit more experience than you people are. That is why I'm telling you that out of these 180 minutes that you have in hand, 5 minutes will go towards the initial details that you're supposed to fill in. You have to put in your roll number. Okay, you have to put in select some things on the OMR sheet. Then the invigilator will come up with an attendance sheet against your name. You have to put your attendance. Okay, do not put thumb impressions. Okay, you have to just put your signature across the attendance, show your hall ticket, etc. So effectively, 5 minutes would be lost there. That is out of your hand. Now the other minutes that you can save. Okay, there are some other wastages which you can save, provided you are prepared well in advance. Okay, there is another 5 minutes which will go towards refreshments. Okay, refreshments के जैसा drinking water. Okay, going to toilet, or if you feel giddy, you can always have a candy in your pocket. You cannot carry samosas, snacks, sandwiches, पापड़ा, ढोकला, खांडवी ये सब नहीं लेके जा सकते. You can carry a candy in your pocket if at any point of time, because a lot of students under the pressure of the exam, some people have low BP or some people just tend to feel a little giddish, etc. They can have little water, they can have an orange candy, they can just put them in that mouth, and you can use those 5 minutes for your refreshments, whether it be going to washroom or whatever, drinking water. But effectively वो भी तो जा रहा है 180 minutes. Out of 180 minutes, even that is being lost. And we will take 5 minutes towards wastage. What wastage? What wastage, sir? Wastage, sir. You people think about unwanted things in the exam, sir. You will sit there and think about unwanted things. Suddenly, when you're writing your paper, at that point of time, what will you do? Arey, I should have been, instead of writing an exam here today, I should have been somewhere in Goa. Re. Huh? I should have been on some trek with my friends. Re. Huh? I should have been watching a movie. Or I should have been in London, Switzerland, Paris, etc. Huh? Watching the snowfall. Huh? Then you will realize why All of that is out of range. What is in range is right now CA foundation. Come back, come back, come back, come back. Okay, come back. You will bring yourself back. Okay. So out of these 180 minutes, your 15 minutes, okay, are generally lost. You have 165 minutes for 100 marks. You have 165 minutes for 100 marks. Now, you can cut off the wastage, okay, reduce on refreshments, and increase the time that you have available to complete the paper. It is very important to attempt 100% of the paper in order to score maximum marks. So our focus is not attempt being able to attempt 60% of the paper, 50% of the paper, 40% of the paper, 80% of the paper. Our prime focus is that we will attempt 100% of the paper. 100% of our question paper has to be attempted within the due time that has been allotted to us. Without wasting a single minute, our focus will be that 100% of the paper has to be attempted, no matter even if the questions are vast. No matter even if they are tricky, no matter even if they are difficult. Easy होते तो भी मैं करता, difficult होते तो भी मैं करता, tricky होते तो भी मैं करता. But I have to attempt 100% of the question paper. That is our focus. You know why? Because optimistically, okay, you know it for a fact that no matter how correctly you must have scored the question, do not become overconfident. You will tend to lose some amount of marks in every question. Okay, maybe your margins are not right, or you must have done an error, or whatsoever. So it is always, see, a lot of people come outside the examination and call me up saying that, sir, I have solved 60% of the paper, sir, I'll get 60 marks for sure. I said, when you solved 60% only, how can you expect 60 full? You say I have attempted 80% of the paper, I am expecting 60, sir, that's okay. Do not tell me, sir, I have attempted 60% of the paper and I am expecting 60. Okay, if you attempt 100% of the paper, then say that, sir, I am expecting 85%. Varna mat bolna. So our focus is that within these 165 minutes, what I have in hand, I shall be able to attempt 100% of the question paper. Now, to understand what should be our path, to prepare the strategy today for the next 3.5 odd months to come, let us first identify our target. Let us first identify our target. Let us first mark the outline of our target. Let us first, okay, put our bullseye onto the target. Let us know what our target is. Let us know what our target is. Then we will decide the approach to the target. So here we will take up one question paper. I'll just show you how the question papers are. Okay. We'll take up one question paper and put it up for discussion. We go to November 2020 question paper. Now, at CA Foundation, pay attention. At CA Foundation, pay attention. You have question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, question number 4, question number 5, question number 6. Question 1 is compulsory. Question 1 is compulsory. So here you have no choice. Here you have no choice. Question number 2 to question number 6. Question number 2 to question number 6. Out of these 5 questions, attempt any 4. Attempt any 4. So question 1 is always going to be compulsory in the exam. Question 1 is always going to be compulsory in your exam. Question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of these next 5 questions, you're supposed to attempt any 4. Question 1 is 20 marks. Question 1 is for 20 marks. Attempt any 4. These are also 20 marks each. These are also 20 marks each. So here the total is 100 marks. When you say 20 marks each, this is in total 80 marks, right? 80 marks plus 20 marks, 100 marks. Now, if you ask me, sir, can you predict the question paper? This is the only thing that you can predict in the question paper. That you know for sure you're going to get question 1 compulsory. Question 1 may from which topic then they ask questions. Sir, there is no set pattern for the CA foundation paper. Unlike in case of your intermediate where you learn that final accounts का एक problem 20 mark के लिए आएगा. You'll get at least one final account problem for 20 marks for sure. You'll get one question out of BRS and one question out of rectification of errors. Out of these both you can choose one. Depreciation and inventory you can choose one and attempt. Here there is no fixed question paper pattern except for the marks allocation. This is the only thing that is definite here at CA Foundation. The only thing that does not change is that question number 1 is compulsory. Out of question number 2 to 6, out of the next 5 questions, you're supposed to attempt any 4 questions, which are of 20 marks each. So this 20 plus 80 in total 100. That is the only thing that is definite. Now a lot of people would ask, sir, what about theory in taxation? How much is the weightage for theory, sir? How much is the weightage for particular for practical, sir? Okay, I feel, sir, rectification and BRS, sir. I know one, I don't know one. I know BRS, I don't know rectification. Can I choose between them, sir? Who gave you the choice? You've not been given the choice. The only choice that you have is at this point today. The only choice that you have. Bear in mind, guys. You might get 100 other choices if you try and frame up. But make your heads turn. The only choice that you have today is that whether I am in or I am out. Once you're in, then there is no looking back. The only choice that you have here is whether I am in or I am out. Of what? Of this CA curriculum. Once you're in, no other choice. The only thing that is in your hands is your efforts and dedication. So like I said, the only thing that is predictable here is that your question number 1 is compulsory, which is going to come for 20 marks short. And thereafter you have question number 2 to question number 6. Out of those 5, you have to attempt any 4, which are for 80 marks. Total is 100 marks. Now, if you look at your question paper pattern, question number 1, I said it is for 20 marks. It is not one single question which is of 20 marks. Pay attention. It is not one single question. Now, these 20 marks per question, it is not a single question of 20 marks. It could be a combination of 10 marks plus 10 marks. That is, one question might be having 2 sub questions, 2 bits. It is not 2 bits of the same chapter. It could be 2 bits of the different chapter, 2 bits of different chapters. So it's a combination of 10 plus 10, or it could be a combination of 10 plus 5 plus 5, or it could be a combination of 10 plus 6 plus 4, or it could be a combination of 8 plus 8 plus 4, or it could be a combination of 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4. Any number of combinations, guys. That is not our matter of concern. Our matter of concern is per question 20 marks. Let it be how many ever bits. We will be so thorough that we will be able to solve all questions. Given a choice, if they give me a choice, I should be able to solve the question that is being left in choice also. But do not do that. Okay, unlike in case of any other courses, if you solved additional questions, then you will get extra marks. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला, marks चले जाएंगे, याद रखना. Clear? So this is about it. So now, if I put an average, guys, pay attention. You have 165 minutes. 165 minutes. Okay. 165 minutes divided by 5 questions. Why? Because each question is for 20 marks. Okay. So you have 41.25 minutes, okay, for 20 marks, or you can say per question. So if I want to save time for checking, I will say 40 minutes per question. I would say 40 minutes per question. The time that you have in hand is 40 minutes per question. And you should be able to solve the question in 40 minutes, inclusive of all the bits. Only then, if that is your strategy, if you have a game plan set, only then you can succeed. The topics that are there at your CA foundation, okay, are first you have theoretical framework. That is chapter 1 is complete theory, mostly theory, meaning and scope of accounting, accounting concepts, principles, and convention. Accounting terminology, capital and revenue expenditure receipts, okay, contingent assets, contingent liabilities, accounting policies, accounting as a measurement discipline. Then you have accounting standards and Indian accounting standards. Okay, the weightage of this in the exam is close to about 10 to 15 marks. Weightage is 10 to 15 marks, and it is not sure shot that यहाँ से 10 या 15 mark आने वाले, that you will get surely 10-15 marks from it. It is purely based on the analysis of the previous question papers that we've done. Okay. Then you have accounting process, that is your journal entries, ledger, subsidiary book, cash book, bank reconciliation statement, rectification of errors. So 2 to 3. Okay. From here you can expect another 20 to 25 marks. 20 to 25 marks. Okay. Inventories, depreciation, these both put together you can expect another 15 marks. Accounting for special transactions, bills of exchange, sale of goods on approval, consignment, average due date, account current, these are another 20 marks. Final accounts, you can expect a 10 marks question. Partnership for 10 marks. Accounting for non-profit organization, 10 marks. Company accounts is 10 marks. And these true and false questions are only questions for practice, and this is for all chapters put together. So leave it aside. So this now, I'm not even going to give you time to copy any of these. Why? Because sir, if you look at, your marks are scattered everywhere. So technically you don't have any choice. And there is no such set pattern that one question you'll get definitely from final accounts, one question definitely from NP accounts, one question definitely from bills of exchange, one question definitely from rectification. There's no such pattern as such. You get some people ask me, sir, what is the percentage of theory 80-20? 80% practical, 20% theory. There's no fixed pattern as such also. There's only one pattern. What? You'll get one question paper, which is for 100 marks. You have to attempt 5 questions. First question compulsory. Out of the next 5, any 4. That is the only thing that is set. Okay. Now, coming to accounts. You need not copy any of these. When there's time to copy, if there's something that's really required, which is required to be copied in your notes, I will tell you. Okay. Now, what do you require for your accounts? What is the samagri? Samagri is the ingredients for the puja. Okay. When you do any sort of puja, you will ask for samagri, ingredients. Likewise, what are the ingredients or what are the items which are required for accounts class daily? First one, textbook. Textbook, which textbook? The RCA textbook which is being given to you. Follow which textbook? Only the RCA textbook. You know why? Here. What all is covered in the textbook is all ICAI questions. Last 7 attempts RTPs have been covered. And last 7 attempts question papers have been covered. Apart from that, somewhere additional problems. So you need not follow any other textbook, guys. Do not go and buy any other textbook. Do not refer anything else except for this ICA, the RCA textbook that has been given to you, wherein all ICA problems have been covered, all RTP questions have been covered, and all RTP is revision test papers. RTP is revision test paper every year before the or every attempt before the exam. The ICI will launch an RTP revision test paper, okay, wherein certain questions will be given for your additional practice. That has also been covered. Previous exam question papers have also been covered. Okay. So one, you need RCA textbook. 2, long ruled notebook. Have a ruled notebook. Nice, sir, I want plain only. Your choice, Ray. Do whatever you want. I am suggesting long ruled notebook. And ensure let it be for 300 pages. So that you do not have multiple notebooks, you have everything in one place. 3. Have a highlighter. Have a highlighter. 4. Calculator. Compulsory. And Guys, scientific calculators are not allowed in the exam. You should have a normal calculator like this. Scientific calculators are not allowed. Normal calculator with GT and memory. Memory is M plus M minus MRC and grand total. 5. Pay attention. Pen, pencil, and ruler. Scale. Pen, pencil, and ruler. Compulsory. You know why? Because unless your answers are not presented properly, it will not make sense to the examiner and marks will not be awarded. So, if you want to score marks in the exam, ensure that your answers are legibly presented in the exam. Okay, so your margin should be intact, etc. We'll focus on that. And as and how, whenever we are solving any problem, we will always solve it with full formats so that okay, so that you are prepared. So this is Samagri for the tax class. Why did I say tax? Accounts class. Sometimes it becomes a little difficult to switch between tax account because morning you are taking up taxation thereafter accounts classes. कभी कभी वो लोचा हो जाता है. But you people should not worry. When I'm here, we'll discuss accounts alone. So this is the Samagri for accounts class. Have these things ready. So that's the first class. You can just watch the video and relax. Next. For the next 30 odd days, we will be discussing chapter 1. Chapter 1 takes a lot of time. Okay, there's a lot of theory. Okay. Now, we will do some vague discussion. We'll do some briefing upon your subject. Okay, we'll get into the technicalities of the subject soon, but let us just chill, relax, and understand. Okay, what is accounts? When you talk about accounts, you have accounting. What? Accounting. When I talk about accounts is nothing but the activity of accounting. When did this activity of accounting originate and how does it work? See, accounting everybody does without even knowing it. When you talk about any sort of a science, science is specific, science is precise, science has a particular pattern. If you want to make some chemical, you have a definite proportion. The mix of that proportion in that particular quantity will only give you the required output. Okay. If you want to construct a building, if you're doing engineering, okay, you have to go by precise measurements. Whereas accounting, everybody does it without even being skilled enough. See, when you talk about skilled means a person who's having the requisite knowledge. It's called a skilled person. You need not be skilled to do accounting. And one does accounting without even realizing that in their day to day life. How does that happen? Now, you have been given 100 rupees in the morning, okay, and parents at home tell you that go get some groceries from the market. Right when you start from your home, you have a fixed thing in your mind that I have been given 100 rupees, whatever I purchase should fit into these 100 rupees that has been given to me. Okay, then first you go buy milk. The moment you bought milk, यहाँ पर calculation चालू. Here, the working is already on. I bought milk, 20 rupees packet. I have been given 100, balance is 80. You go a little ahead. You go a little ahead. Okay. You buy something else. You give him 50 rupees note. Now, that item that he purchased is for 35 rupees. I gave him 50, item purchased is for 35. I have to get back how much? 15 in return. That is also some kind of an account. You come back home. Okay. You give your parents all the groceries. Thereafter, balance money you are taking out and giving. Sometimes they might ask you, "Hey, what is the balance? How did you spend?" They might not also. They might not ask you. But when you're giving the change, in your mind you have, I've been given 100, I've spent 65, balance is 35, 35 I'm giving back. So this working is also accounting. Accounting always need not be done in ledgers in a specific format. Accounting always need not be in writing. Accounting is here. Accounting is a sense of. So when you talk about accounting, accounting always need not be sophisticated. Accounting need not always be in a particular format. Okay. Accounting, everyone does it in their day to day without even realizing you do accounting. Now, where did this accounting origin from, or what are the stages in which the accounting has originated? What are the evolution? We'll learn that in some time. Right now, I will discuss a small exercise with you people. We will just take up a small exercise, okay, and try and understand that where did this pattern of accounting come from? Why is it that it has a pattern being defined as such? Okay, we'll take up an exercise. You'll realize that. Let us say there is a father here. Okay, father. There is a son. Now the father gives son pocket money. Father son gives the son the pocket money. He gives the son 1,000 rupees every month. Okay. We will do assessment weekly now. I would rather put it the other way around. He gives him 500 rupees every week. Okay. The son one day comes with a complaint to his father that the money that you give me is not sufficient, dad. इतना सा पैसा में मेरा कुछ भी गुजारा नहीं हो रहा. The money that you give me is not sufficient. Okay? I need more money. The pocket money that you give me is not sufficient. That being that, what did he say? Hey, why is the money not sufficient? Huh? In our times, we were given 5 rupees a month. Huh? 5 rupees a month. In that 5 rupees, we used to buy our notebooks. Okay. We used to go to school, come back. If you wanted to eat something in the on our way back or in the canteen, we used to eat that also in 5 rupees. Okay, and sometimes our parents, okay, they will exaggerate the situation more. They will say in this 5 rupees only, if they wanted ration for the house, I used to bring it from those 5 rupees only. I used to pay my school fees also from those 5 rupees only. Hmm? Not just that. In those 5 rupees only, I used to do everything. And then standard. You people are so fortunate. Okay, you people have a caring dad like me. Okay, you get everything that you want. Apart from these 500 rupees, also, okay, you keep demanding things that is bought to you. How is 500 rupees not sufficient? You should have been in our times. You people have a luxury room, AC laga ke padte tum log. In our times, you used to sit under the street and study. Arey, who sat under the street lights and studied, bhaiya? I don't know. I didn't. Okay. And I will not tend to say that such stories in future. But still, it is a standard thing. Okay, whether they have done it or not, but then they do say. Okay. So the father says that how is 500 rupees a week not sufficient? How is 500 rupees a week not sufficient at all? You say 500 rupees a week is not sufficient. I used to, if I would have been given 500 rupees at that point of time, okay, I would have also taken coaching classes and I would have been chartered accountant today. Wow. So the father says, son, how is 500 rupees not sufficient? I want to know where all did you spend the money? What does the father say? I want to know where all did you spend money? You must have been spending money in unwanted things. You must have been spending money leisurely. I want to check. You tell me. You give me once. You tell me where all you've spent money. Okay. We will do two things. Either I will realize that the money is not sufficient. You need to be paid more money. If money is being spent properly, okay, on your necessities, I will realize that the money that I have given you is less. I will give you more money to spend. Okay. Otherwise, if I realize that in certain areas the spending have been excessive, you've been spending money unwantedly and excessive, then in such situation, I will restrict the amount of your pocket. Son says, okay. What does the son say? He says, come papa, sit on sofa. Okay. His dad sits on the sofa. This fellow, just like you stand in a choir, he'll start saying, I spent on Monday 30 rupees to buy a notebook. I spent on Monday 15 rupees to buy this, to do that. And then suddenly he forgets what he had done on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He could remember one or two areas where he has spent the money, but he could not remember all. Why? Because human memory has when you talk about human brain, it has a limited memory. It cannot store everything in your memory, and you cannot remember it forever. So for that purpose, what have people come up with? People have come up with earlier. People had come up with diaries. Okay, now you have calendars on your phones, etc. So you tend to save things there. Okay, but you cannot remember everything forever. The father says the son, huh? You cannot even remember. Don't even have. You eat badam, rather stop spending 500 rupees. Eat almonds at home. You'll have a strong memory. Now father says the son, do one thing. Leave about the past. I am giving you 500 rupees for this week. By the end of the week, by the end of the week, I want to know where all have you spent money, and make a note of it. Take a diary, put it in your pocket. Every day write where all you are spending, so that you can remember, and next time tell me where all you spent. This fellow says okay. This fellow, son, says okay. This week he is maintaining a pocket diary. What does he maintain? He maintains a pocket diary. What he does in the pocket diary is, pay attention, take a minute. In the pocket diary, he starts writing Monday. Okay. He spent 30 rupees on notebook. Okay. He spent 10 rupees on canteen. Okay. And thereafter, he spent, let us say, 15 rupees on recharge. Next day, Tuesday. Okay. Next day is what? Tuesday. Tuesday, he spends 5 rupees on bus ticket. Okay. 15 rupees for movie. Now you might be wondering, sir, lockdown में where movie? अरे this is hypothetical example. This is old days example. You might be saying, telling 15 rupees में which movie can you watch, sir? अरे I'm telling the when he is giving 500 rupees while you buy Taj Mahal in 500 rupees. No, no. Let me go with my example. Hmm? Movie 15 rupees. Then then he bought 10 rupees worth of chocolates. For whom? For friends, Ray. The people have all crazy, stupid mind. No girlfriend, friend. Okay. What 10 rupees chocolate for friends? Wednesday. Wednesday again, he spent 10 rupees, okay, for cricket match or something. Then he bought stationery worth 5 rupees. And Wednesday again, he spent 10 rupees recharge. To whom he's been talking so long? His choice. He's talking to his friends. He's talking to his friends. Okay, you people don't get crazy. Okay, this fellow is Sharif guy. Okay, Thursday. Thursday, this fellow again, he spent 12 rupees on bus ticket. He spent 12 rupees on bus. He bought another notebook for 8 rupees. He spent 20 rupees in canteen. He spent 20 rupees where? In canteen. Okay. Put 15 stationery. Next. Friday. Friday, new movie released. Friday, new movie released. Movie, 50 rupees ticket. Now, where did he go? Prasad's IMAX, PVR. Okay, why? He did not buy one ticket. He bought two tickets for himself and his friend. Okay. He bought ticket for himself and his friend. Movie ticket, 50 rupees. Then in movie only, canteen will, right? He bought popcorn, cool drinks for himself and his friend. Okay. 80, no, 80 is too much. 30 rupees. Then he went for dinner with friend. Okay, that is another 100 rupees. Look at the expenses, right? Notebook you are spending 30, dinner with friend 100. पप्पा देखेंगे तो फोड़ेंगे. Saturday. Saturday again bus ticket 10. Okay. Stationery that he bought 10. Recharge. Sunday. Okay. Sunday morning. He's not going anywhere outside, etc. Let us say only on cricket. He spent 30. Now his father, Sunday evening, he comes. His father, Sunday evening, he comes. He says, okay, son, I had given you 500 rupees last week. Now you tell me where all you have spent money. Son. Now he keeps the book in front of him on a stand. He holds his hand like this and says, Monday, 30 rupees notebook, canteen, 10 rupees, recharge, 15, Tuesday, bus ticket, 5, movie, 15, chocolates, 10. What does the father say? Ray, stupid fellow, do I have so much time, Ray? Huh? To sit and listen to your poem? I don't want all of this. I don't want all of this. I want to know in total. Now you are saying you spend money on notebook, right? In total on notebook, how much did you spend? I want to know that. On canteen, how much did you spend? I want to know that. On recharge, how much did you spend? I want summaries. I don't want data like this. I don't have time to look at everything as such. So look at this. First, you were not able to remember everything. Okay, you had limited memory. You agreed to that fact. You were not able to remember everything. What did you do? You started recording it. As in now you were doing any sort of an activity or spending money or receiving money, you started recording it. By preparing a record, what did you do? You had all your content in one place. You had all your information in one place. Now, to make that information usable and understandable, you need to classify it. Because now the father says, on notebook, how much you spent in total? On canteen, notebook and stationery, how much did you spend? On canteen, how much did you spend? On bus ticket in total, how much did you spend? Recharge, how much did you spend? Okay. Movie, how much did you spend? And other items. So notebook. Now I write 30 here. Notebook posting now. Canteen he spent 10 rupees. Recharge he spent 15 rupees. Next. Bus ticket 5. Movie 15. 10. We'll put it as canteen and food. Okay, chocolates also we'll put it here. Okay. Thereafter, Wednesday. Wednesday he spent money on what? Cricket. Okay. Cricket 10. स्टेशनरी कितना हो गया? स्टेशनरी 15. रिचार्ज कितना हो गया? रिचार्ज इज अगेन 15. एंड नेक्स्ट थर्सडे. थर्सडे बस टिकट. बस टिकट हाउ मच? 12. नोटबुक स्टेशनरी 8. कैंटीन 20. फ्राइडे मूवी. वेयर इज मूवी? हियर सेकंड लास्ट. फ्राइडे मूवी 50. व्हाई? फॉर हिमसेल्फ एंड हिज फ्रेंड. ओके. नोटबुक मूवी के साथ कैंटीन डिनर 130. 130. Next, Saturday, bus ticket. Where is bus ticket? Here. 10. Thereafter, stationery 10, recharge 15. Stationery, my bad. Stationery 10, recharge again. Wow. Super this fellow is. And last, cricket 30. Now, when you take totals of these, that will give you, pay attention, that will give you the total expenditure incurred on each head or for each purpose. Okay. Now, if you look at notebook, notebook is 30, 45, 45, 53, and 10, 63. Let me just check 13, 15, 8, 10, 63. 130, 150, 170. 12, 22, 27, 45, 65, and finally 40 rupees. He gives his father this paper now. Pay attention. What is he giving his father? This paper. Okay. Dad, look at this. I spent on all of these purposes so much money. What does the father say? You are waste fellow. You will never understand. Hmm? I asked you, give me summary. I asked you, give me summary. Now, how do you prepare summary here? Pay attention. Notebook. My father is not concerned with which day on which head how much did he spend. I want totals. Notebook and stationery. Pay attention. Notebook and stationery. 63. Thereafter, canteen. 170. Thereafter, after canteen, what was the next one? Bus ticket. Bus ticket 27. Recharge. Okay. 45. Then movie. 65. And finally, you have your cricket. 40. Now, when you take sum total of this 63 plus 170 plus 27 plus 45 plus 65, 63, 170, 27, 45, 65, and 40. 410. That is your total expense. Now, you give this paper to your father. You give this particular paper to your father. What does the father say? He says, okay. Now, father has developed an understanding that total pocket money 500 less spent is 410. How much should the balance in his pocket? 90. Does he have the balance of 90? First check that. Yes, he has the balance of 90. Now, what does the father say? He will say, son, come here. Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Turn around. You first turn around. The moment he turns around, he will give one long kick on his back. What does the father say? Pay attention now. What is the usage of all of this information? And we are not wasting any time. After this, I'll take you through the definition of accounting, which is much more based on this activity. Father gave initially 500 rupees. Son said not sufficient. What did son say? Not sufficient. What did the father say? Father is smart. Father is smart. What did he say? Okay, Ray, you prove me 500 is not sufficient. I will give you more. No problem. But the father did not give hidden terms and conditions. If you are not able to prove 500 is sufficient, but in fact 500 is surplus, I will deduct your pocket money. Those terms conditions were hidden. Father did not tell the son in advance. Okay. So what does the father do now is he tells the son that if you cannot remember things, okay, you write it down on a piece of paper. By writing it down on a piece of paper, what? The limited memory problem is solved. Why? You need not remember everything here. Write it on a paper. You have all information in one place. Then, when such information was presented, you give me so much information that is of no use. You give me so much information, but in a condensed form, in an understandable manner, only then it is worth the usage. You give me a lot of information, no problem. Why you give me cartoons and cartoons of information? What if the gist of it can be summarized in one page? I want the gist or the tons of information. I want only the gist. So the father said, no, 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 I don't want this full record. You summarize and give it to me. For the purpose of summarizing, what did you do? You classified the information. You took all the notebook related expenses, took a notebook total, canteen total, bus ticket total, recharge total, movie ticket total, cricket total. You put all of them in one place, you summarize the data and give it to your father. By receiving this data, what did your father do? Your father developed an understanding. What is the understanding? Total 500 rupees pocket money given. Out of pocket money of 500 rupees, only 410 rupees is spent. Out of 410 rupees spent, balance is how much? 90. Now the father will say, come here, show me the balance of 90. If you are able to show the balance of 90, that means what all information you have provided here is correct. Wow. If you are able to show that in your pocket you actually have 90, that means this information is correct. What if your pocket says that you have only 50? 40 is still falling short. Pay attention. Now, what are all the information that you can gather from here? What is the understanding you can develop? We are checking on to that. Okay. Suppose if 90 is not there in pocket and only 50 is there, 40 is lost. Where is it lost? Either you have spent 40 and not recorded here. So your information is not complete. Two, if 40 has been lost, that means there has been a theft. Okay, if I was not maintaining accountability, if I were not doing all of these working, then I never would have known that I have lost 40. I would have been thinking what is there in my pocket is what I have. Okay, by preparing this, at least I'm able to put in some control or a check that this should be my balance. If that is not the balance actually physically in my pocket, that means there is a difference and there is a matter of concern. Then the father is able to also, based on this information, take decision. Hey, waste fellow, you are studying, you spend only 63 rupees on notebook and stationery, 45 rupees on recharge. Whom do you talk to so much, Ray? Hmm? What is this nonsense? I have given you phone for what? Only for the purpose of contacting me and your mom, where you are, whether you are safe or not. But what are you doing? 63 rupees on notebook and stationery. 170 rupees canteen, tiffin nahi aata ghar se? Father, father. I'm getting into that field, sorry. Tend to ask such questions. You don't get tiffin from home? Despite the fact that you're getting tiffin, in the tiffin, all snacks that you want are already there in the house. Your mother, she's waking up early in the morning and packing such stuff. Still, you want to eat outside food, right? Junk you will eat in the canteen. Huh? Spending only 63 rupees on notebook and how much on movie tickets? 65, 2 rupees more on movie tickets. Huh? Like this, you will study. Based on this, your father is also able to analyze where is your spending, whether the spending is effective or not, and if there is certain areas where there is being wastage, it should be cut off. Now your father took a decision. Okay? Henceforth, henceforth, only one movie a week and one ticket will be given. Wow, one movie a week and one ticket given. You know why? Because the father, while looking at the summary, he analyzed certain things. He said this fellow once he went for movie, he spent 15. Second time he went for movie, he spent how much? 50. Double se zyada, triple se zyada in fact. Okay. That means the spending, okay, is not regular. There is a matter of concern. Let me investigate. Then the father investigated and got to know that once he had taken only single ticket, second time he had taken two tickets and were of different theaters. So by looking, see, when you have information in your hand, you can develop so many things analysis from it. You are able to know the balance. You are able to know where it is being spent, where it is being unnecessarily spent. What are the areas it could be cut down? And in case if there is any shortage in the money in your hand as compared to the values that are there in your records, then that means there is some theft or something. All of this information you are being able to gather from where? From the accounting record that you were preparing. So having data is not a matter of concern. Having data in your head is not a matter of concern. What is more precise here is that have data, have it in an organized format, have it recorded in one place. Then you classify it, summarizing, and bring it to a precise format where it is understandable. This entire activity is called accounting. Pay attention. This entire activity is called accounting. So I am going to now discuss with you one of the most important theory questions which comes for 3 marks in the exam is definition of accounting. ध्यान से सुनो. Okay. This activity was for you people to understand what is the definition of accounting. Now the definition of accounting has been given by AICPA. Pay attention. AICPA. AICPA is American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Here we call chartered accountants. In America, they call certified public accountant (CPA). Okay? So the American Institute, जैसा तुम्हारा ICAI है, Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Like that, you have AICPA, American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. Now they have defined accounting. Okay? And the definition has to be the way it is. You cannot change terms. So what did they say? We will break down the definition, but उससे पहले सुनते हैं क्या बोला उन्होंने. Okay, they have said that accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing. Accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money. Pay attention. What did it say? Accounting is an art. Art क्यों बोला वो हम समझेंगे. Is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner. In a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions, and events which are in part at least of financial character and which are in part at least of a financial character and interpreting the results thereof. Interpreting the results thereof. टेक्स्ट बुक में डेफिनेशन है, उस पर दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है, पहले ध्यान से सुनो. ओके, अकाउंटिंग इज एन आर्ट ऑफ रिकॉर्डिंग, क्लासिफाइंग एंड समराइजिंग. Now, when I say accounting is an art is something which is not specific. Science is specific. As per science, certain things have to be done in a certain way only. You cannot deviate from the laws of science. But in accounting they say is an art. So you can take a shift from the methodologies. Okay, you can always have your own way of doing accounting. So there they say that accounting is an art of recording. What is the first stage we do? We recorded everything. Here, this is the first stage, that is recording. Then after recording, we classified the information. Okay, we classified. So accounting is an art of recording, classifying, taking totals or summarizing. Taking total was summarizing. So that is why they say that accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner. Okay, in a manner which is significant, which is understandable. And in terms of money, why? Because accounting records only monetary items. Non-monetary items are not taken into consideration. Now you went for movie, you got certain amount of satisfaction. Against the pocket money which is mentioned in rupees, can you quantify and write the amount of satisfaction? Okay, by playing cricket you are getting fitness. Can you quantify the fitness and put it there? No. So that is the reason why they say that accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money. Only monetary items are recorded in accounting. Why? Because certain numbers have to be given, and the only number which is common amongst various things that happen around is money. The only thing that is common amongst the various things that happen around is money. So they have come up with a common factor or a common term called money, express everything in money, which can be expressed in monetary terms, record. Okay. Transactions and events. Now, what is a transaction and what is an event? Okay. Transaction is an act. Pay attention. Transaction is an act, a business, technically a human effort. A human effort. Transaction is an act, a business, or a performance. You can also write a performance. All of these are technically what? Human efforts. Okay, or a performance, which is basically a human effort, is a transaction. Whereas an event is an outcome of multiple transactions. Okay? So here human effort is involved in case of transaction. Here it is only an outcome. So human effort not involved. Pay attention. I will explain you what is an transaction and what is an event. So when you talk about transaction, transaction is any act like making a purchase, making payment, receiving money, okay, paying salary. All of these are transactions. All of these are transactions. So any act done, delivering the goods, purchases, sales, expenses made, expenses paid, salary paid, etc. All of these are any kind of an act or a performance. Okay, so that is a transaction. Okay, it involves human effort. Whereas after taking into consideration all the income and expenses, what is my cash balance at the year end? Okay, because cash balance is the difference between receipts and payments. Multiple transactions. Okay, I net them off, I will get my balance. Profit, difference between income and expenditure. Okay, so an event is an outcome. So if I put the other way around, pay attention. जो मैं करूं वो transaction. Anything that you do is a transaction. And जो हो जाए वो event. What does that mean? What I do is a transaction and the outcome of it is an event. So examples here. Pay attention. Okay. Examples of transactions and events. Example, purchases, sales, expenses, etc. Okay. Outcome. Example, cash balance. You can write here receipts and payments also. Receipts, payments, etc. Now, event is what? Outcome, cash balance, profit, etc. So, whatever I do which involves a human effort is a transaction, and the outcome of multiple human efforts put together is an event. So, here, pay attention. Accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions, and events which are in part at least of financial character. That means only those transactions and events which are of financial character. Okay, a lot of time you do a lot of activities which are not financial in nature, like helping somebody to cross the road. Now, what is the financial nature of it? Pay attention. If I help someone to cross a road, okay, that is a transaction. Why? Because it's an act done, it's a performance, it involves human effort. But which can I quantify it in terms of money? Can I quantify that in terms of money? No, I cannot. That is why it is not of a financial character. Here, only transactions and events which are in part at least of financial character are to be fed into accounting with the intention of interpreting the results. Interpreting the results का मतलब क्या है? Why do you do accounting? Because you want to know the outcome, you want to know the profitability, you want to know whether there is increase in capital or not. Okay, you want to know your financial position. So for that purpose, you do accounting. So AICPA has given a definition of accounting which says that now you will also read the definition with me 3 times now. अभी 3 बार वीडियो के साथ साथ तुमको भी बोलना है तो तुमको याद होगा और एग्जाम में एज इट इज लिखना है, वरना मार्क्स नहीं मिलना. If you do not write it as it is in the exam, marks will not be allotted. So here, what is accounting? Accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing. That guys, repeat along with me. What are you people doing? Accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions, and events which are in part at least of financial character and interpreting the results thereof. Chalo, repeat again. Accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions, and events, which are in part at least of financial character and interpreting the results thereof. Once again, accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions, and events, which are in part at least of financial character and interpreting the results thereof. You people have brought me back to kindergarten. हाँ, अब बचा क्या है टिफिन में किंडर जॉय but now for those who repeated with me well and good and if those who not repeated पाप चढ़ेगा okay repeat if you not done that pause the video and repeat the definition thrice and then play the video again huh? This is a 3 mark potential question in the exam. Do not tend to lose marks. So here, accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions, and events which are in part at least of financial character and interpreting the results thereof. Wherein a transaction is an act, business, or a performance, and an outcome of the various transactions put together is a event. Okay. So you will copy from here onwards in your notes. Okay. What will you write? Heading as chapter 1. Pay attention. You write Chapter 1, Unit 1. Chapter 1, Unit 1. Introduction to Accounting. Or you can write here meaning and scope of account. In your notebooks. Quick. Meaning and scope of accounting. So there, chapter 1, Unit 1. First one is definition given by AICPA. Who has given the definition, guys? AICPA. AICPA defined accounting as follows. Copy quick and then we will go ahead. I hope you're done copying, guys. Hmm? Moving a little ahead, so here is your where highlighter comes into play. Okay, I had told you highlighter. Okay, so transactions and events. Transaction is used to mean a business, a performance, or an act, or an agreement. Event is used to mean the happening as a consequence of transactions as a result. Okay. Why am I asking you to highlight all of these? Is that when you are referring one day before your exam, when you open your textbook and start checking what is important, okay, refer these highlighted portions. Refer these highlighted portions. Okay, they'll be of great help. Accounting is an art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in terms of money, transactions, and events, which are in part at least of financial character, and interpreting the results thereof. The significance of one above is that it is defined by AICPA. AICPA का मतलब क्या है? It is American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. Pair this up in your textbook also. It is American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. And you need not panic at all, guys. Those who are from science background, okay, it does not make any difference. We are starting right from the base. So you will learn accounting as a fresh. Done? So here guys, recording is basically journals, classifying is ledgers, summarizing is again ledgers, and making it understandable and usable to management and other interested parties is final accounts. All of this we will discuss in some time to come. Before moving ahead, let me just discuss with you something that is called evolution of accounting. Evolution of accounting. What is the evolution of accounting? How did accounting come into? There are four stages in evolution of accounting. There are four stages in evolution of accounting. The first one is called stewardship accounting. Okay. First one is called what? Stewardship accounting. Now, what does this stewardship accounting mean? Okay. Let me take you back in history. Okay. Long, 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 long ago. Okay. Which is the oldest civilization in India? The Harappan culture. Indus Valley civilization. Now, if you go back today and check. At that point of time also there was currency for barter. Earlier there was barter system of exchange. Okay. Barter का मतलब क्या है? Is that I will give you certain goods in exchange of what I want. Okay. Like there is one farmer who has a potato farm. There's another farmer who has a rice farm. Okay. The potato farmer said that I will give you 4 sacks of potatoes if you give me 1 sack of rice. I will give you how many sacks of potatoes? 4 sacks of potatoes if you give me 1 sack of rice. This was barter system. Okay. From barter system, there came currency. Okay, there came currency. Where money in different forms. You call it money today. Then it used to be called guinea, cents, whatsoever. Okay, they used to give earlier stones. There would be engraving on the stones. They would give the stones. Okay. Later on, it came in alloy form as coins, etc. Okay. Then of late, you have currency notes today. You have plastic currency like debit notes, credit notes, phone pay, Paytm, etc. But there in that point of time, earlier there was barter, and thereafter people started having what certain coins, etc. If you look at the Harappan culture and the Indus Valley civilization currencies, if you go and Google today, when you look at their currencies, they are generally on stones, okay? And there are engravings of cattle over it. there are engravings of certain wealth over it. What does this mean? Stewardship accounting is basically very long ago, where people were not concerned about how much they owe or how much they own. It is how much they have. Okay. राजा के खजाने में कितना है? How much is there in the treasury of the king? That is your wealth. That was stewardship accounting. So stewardship accounting is basically aging back to time when there were stewards. Okay. Certain people were called stewards. Stewards are basically your munshis, okay, or umastas, what you call in Telugu. Okay. They are technically the caretakers of somebody else's wealth. They are whom? Caretakers of somebody else's wealth. Okay. You know the lifestyle of a Maharaja, what used to be then? Okay. Maharaja used to like get up early. No, sorry, I said get up early. No, he wouldn't get up early. He would get up late in the morning. Yeah, with one hand like this, always when you Maharaja. Yeah. That fellow, he will get up in the morning, come outside, he will look here and there. Then go sit in his bagicha. Bagicha is what? Garden. Again, like this in the bagicha. Okay. And then he will have some tea, coffee, sharbat, whatsoever. Thereafter, have breakfast. After having breakfast, he will go for his royal bath. Come back. Then, depending on his mood, he will go to his court, Darban. Okay. He'll go, he'll sit there. He will have some chit chat. He will call some poets to sing poetries. Okay, some people to sing music, play music, etc. By the end of the day, okay, after having lunch, he will sleep, rest for a while, then get up. Evening again, he will go for hunting, shikar, this, that, and stuff. Come back, have dinner. After that, again, cultural event start. Okay, and then go to sleep. But where was he getting so much money to spend? Okay, he conquered his boundaries, agreed. But then there had to be wealth in hand to spend. Where did they accumulate the wealth from? Okay, the people who are in the palace or in the kingdom who are serving the king, they need food to eat. So what were they doing? They were taking lagan from farmers. The farmers who used to do farming in their province, from them lagan was collected. From merchants etc. gold or cash तो उस टाइम होता नहीं था, gold की गिन्नियां होते थे, they would collect that. Okay. And there was a caretaker who used to keep a track of how much does the king have. Okay, his job was to do caretaking of the wealth of the emperor. So that was steward. A steward is a person who's a munshi basically, or an umasta in Telugu. I don't know what they say in other languages. Okay, so these people used to be the caretakers of somebody else's wealth. They used to take care of somebody else's wealth. So there, what happened is here they were only concerned with what you have, not what is due to you or not what you are liable to pay. Because with passage of time from cash system, they evolved a new system which is called credit system, where I give you goods today, you pay me 1 week later. So what is that? Being allowed credit. All of that was not taken into consideration in stewardship accounting. Stewardship accounting was primarily focused at what you have. That is technically wealth in hand. But if you are liable to pay somebody, that was not taken into consideration. Okay, if somebody else owes you money, the king was supposed to receive lagan. 2 years, how much did not give. Third year, he's supposed to receive. There is a right to receive. It's an asset. Okay, if any future right to receive or future economic benefits which might accrue to you is an asset. But then all of that is not taken into account in stewardship accounting. What does stewardship accounting look at basically? What I have, what one has. What one has is his wealth. Whatever is there in the royal treasury is your wealth. That was stewardship accounting. Slowly, the shift came from stewardship accounting to financial accounting, with the passage of time, okay, financial accounting came into place where people started recording assets and liabilities, receivables and payables were being recorded. Receivables and payables were being recorded. Assets and liabilities were being recorded. Okay. Income was recorded on the basis of accrual, that is when it is earned, and expenditure when it is incurred, rather than being paid. From the wealth, add receipt, deduct outflows. This used to happen in stewardship accounting. Whereas in financial accounting, there was a shift. People started realizing that there is credit being operated in the market. Credit means what? The payment happening on a date different from the delivery of the goods. So in such situation, it is very important to do what? To have a track of my receivables and payables. What I'm supposed to receive, what I'm supposed to pay, how much income accrued, how much expenditure incurred, what is my liability. In future, how much am I liable to pay to outsiders? In future, how much am I supposed to receive from outsiders? So all of that came up in the second stage of accounting, which is financial accounting. And this financial accounting got structurized in 18th century around. Though it was there before, but it got much more structurized in the 18th century. And what you have as part of your syllabus is financial accounting at CA Foundation. Then people understood that you are recording assets, liabilities, receivable, payable, income, expenditure, etc. Okay, to ascertain profitability and financial position, whether it is stable or not, what is the total value of the assets that you have, what is the total liabilities that you have incurred, etc. That is called financial position. Okay. So here to ascertain profitability and financial position, one used to follow financial accounting. So like in our example, okay, to know the financial position, what is your balance 90? Okay, how much did you spend 410? That is ascertaining the financial position. From here, the next stage that evolved was management accounting. Was what? Management accounting. In management accounting, what did they do is using the information generated from financial accounting. Okay. Financial accounting is technically historical. Pay attention. Is technically historical. What has happened in the past that is recorded, and on the basis of that, you are ascertaining the position. Okay, the financial position or the profitability on a certain date. That is historical. Your past information, historic information, what has already happened in the past that is being recorded to ascertain the position. So, using the financial accounting information that you have generated, okay, using the information generated from financial accounting, okay, you doing various ratio analysis, okay, then you doing decision making, all of that comes under management accounting. Ratio analysis, decision making, efficiency analysis, etc. So using the past information and doing certain statistics so that you can lay down the map for the future. So that you can lay down the map for the future for decision making, ratio analysis, efficiency testing, etc. All of that is what management accounting. Like in your case, in the exercise that we had discussed, okay, the father, based on the information he generated, what was he able to do? He was able to conclude you are spending more on movies than on education, which is not good for you. You should spend more on education than on movies. That was decision making. Father decided, father decided what? To give you one ticket a month for a movie from his own money, but reduce your pocket money. Wow. That is again decision making based on what? Based on the information that you have on hand. ratio analysis, efficiency analysis, okay, variance analysis, all of that. All of this management accounting is discussed at CA intermediate and CFI. The last stage, the most recent one, which is not older than 10-15 years, is social responsibility accounting. Now, of late, people have realized that there is some kind of a responsibility towards the environment, towards the labor satisfaction, towards the human resource efficiency, etc. So they've come up with social responsibility accounting, wherein now the pollution accounting is done. How much pollution are you contributing to the country or to the globe? How much hazard are you contributing? What is the employee satisfaction index, etc. All of that has also been associated with accounting to make the businesses more efficient, okay, more ecologically friendly, etc. There is this last stage which is called social responsibility accounting, where your environmental accounting will come, employee satisfaction index will come, etc. So of late people have realized the importance of social responsibility towards the environment also. So these are the four stages in evolution of accounting. Now, in the exam, you need not break your heads on to what is there in which accounting evolution. You just need to write the four headings. When they say what are the stages in evolution of accounting, stage one, stewardship accounting. Okay. Stage two is financial accounting. Stage three is management accounting, and stage four is social responsibility accounting. These are the four stages in evolution of accounting, which should be taken care of. In the exam, just write these four subheadings and you'll get your full marks. I'll give you time. You can copy this quick. Evolution of accounting. Hmm, Copy. Copy quick, guys. Once you're done copying this, guys, this is the first class. I have basically introduced you to the definition of accounting and the stages and evolution of accounting. Briefed you up on the question paper pattern as well. Okay, what is our approach? And from tomorrow onwards, okay, ensure that all the samagri that I have mentioned, okay, you have that when you have your accounts class on. Okay. So that'll be the end of the session today. And stay home, stay safe, do take care of your parents, grandparents, and of yourselves and your younger ones as well. Okay. Act responsibly, act sensible, and take care. Bye bye.